Question 1. Solve each problem. Part A. There are 320 eggs in cartons of 12. How many cartons are there? We'll use the partial quotients method to determine it for the first of all. So 320 divided by 12. So I know that 2 times 12 is 24, so 20 times 12 would be 240. Subtracting 240 from 320 gives me 80. Number of 12s in 80, I'm going to guess maybe 4, because I know that 4 times 12 is 48. So 4 times 12 is 48. Subtracting 48 from 80 gives me 32. Number of 12s in 32, I know I can put in 2. 2 12s are 24. 32 minus 24 is remainder of 8. Adding up the other side, I've got 20 plus 4 plus 2 is 26. So 320 eggs go into 26 cartons of 12. Class 5B has 23 students. They raised $500 for a field trip. How much could they spend for each student on their next field trip? So the question is asking us to take $500 and divide it by 23. I'll use the traditional method now for dividing this time. I'm not exactly sure how many 23s go into 50, but I'm going to guess that it can only be 2. 2 times 23 is 46. 50 minus 46 is 4. Bring down the 0. 40. I'm only going to have 123 in 40. Subtracting that gives me 17 remainder. So they could spend $21 on each student and have $17 left over. Anik read 410 pages this week. That's 5 times as many pages as he read last week. How many pages did Anik read last week? So what they're telling us here is that 410 is equal to 5 times some number that we don't know. To find out what the missing number is, we're asking what is 410 divided by 5 going to be equal to. So we can go ahead and do that calculation. We use the partial quotients method for this one. Now I know that 5 times 8 is equal to 40, so therefore 5 times 80 will be equal to 400. So 80 times 5 is 400, with 10 remainder when I subtract that. And 5 into 10 I know is going to be 2. 2 5s are 10. Subtracting gives me a remainder of 0. Adding up, I have 82. Therefore, we can say Anik read 82 pages last week. Create and solve a problem that can be solved using each calculation. In this case, I'll leave it up to you to create a problem that uses these calculations, but I'd like to go through and do the calculation solution. So we'll use the traditional method for this one. 317 divided by 16. I know that 2 16s would give me 32, but I've only got 31, so that means I'm just going to have 1 16 out of 31, with 15 remaining. I bring down the 7. In 157, if it was 160, then I know I would be 10, but it's 157, so I'm going to use 9. 9 times 6 is 54. 1 9 is 9, plus 5 that I carried will be 14. 4 from 7 is 3. 4 from 5 is 1, and 1 from 1 is 0, so I have a remainder of 13. So my answer is 16, remainder 13. Now with this next one, 948 divided by 12, we use the partial quotients method this time. I'm not exactly sure how many 12s go into 94, or how many 12s go into 940, so I'm just going to start with, I know that 4 times 12 is 48, so 40 times 12 will be 480. Subtracting that leaves me 468. 12 into 468, well, I know that 4 12s were 480. I'm less than that here, so I'm going to try 30, which would be 360. Leaves me a balance of 108. 12s into 108 Well, I know that 10 would be 120. If I can't remember all of my 12 times tables, then I might say, which ones can I remember? Well, I remember that 5 times 12 is 60. So I'll subtract that, and I get 48. And now that leaves me with a nice familiar number of 4 times 12, which is 48. So I get 0 remainder. Adding up, I've got 40 plus 30 is 70, plus 9 is 79. So my final answer is 79 with a remainder of 0. There are 512 treats on 8 small plates and 4 large plates. There are the same number of treats on each of the 8 small plates and twice as many treats on each of the 4 larger plates. So how many treats are on the smaller plates? So this shows the number of plates that we've got. We've got the 8 smaller plates here and the 4 larger plates here. They also tell us that the 8 smaller plates are equal to the 4 larger plates as far as the amount that they hold. To determine the number of treats on the smaller plates, I need to figure out how many treats are ending up on the larger plates as well. So we're taking the 512 treats and we're breaking them up into 4 large plates and 8 smaller plates. And now the amount that goes to each of the large plates is going to be the same. The amount that goes to the smaller plates means that for every 2 smaller plates, they get the same as what goes to the larger plate. From this, we can see that we're taking the 512 and dividing it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal-sized parts. Remember, each of the smaller plates is getting half of what one of the larger plates is getting. So 2 of them together are the same as one of the larger plates. So the first step of the problem then is going to be to take 512 and divide it by 8. We know that 6 times 8 is 48. Subtracting 48 from 51 leaves us with 3. We bring down the 2. So we've got 32. And I know that 4 times 8 is 32 with a remainder of 0. So each of the large plates is going to get 64 treats. That means that the smaller plates are going to get half of that, which of course means 64 divided by 2 is going to be 32 treats. Answer B is correct.